Yo, what's going on guys? It's Res. In this video, I want to talk about vault cards. Now that Gearbox has released the final vault card that we're going to be getting through the whole Director's Cut DLC, I want to take a look back at everything that we have gotten and talk about if this was a good system or not, and if we should see systems like this going forward. Obviously, with Wonderlands coming out in March, this could be a new system that they add to the game from the start, which can be really cool, but I want to talk way more in depth about everything, and starting with that, let's just talk about what vault cards are. Now, really quick, if you guys do enjoy this, because they're doing all the normal YouTube stuff, it really helps me out and our community grow by getting these videos out there for everyone to see. I truly appreciate it. So vault cards are one of the brand new additions to Borderlands 3 that they added a little bit ago with the Director's Cut DLC. The Director's Cut DLC added the raid boss to the game and the new storyline involved around Ava, but on top of that, it did also add the vault card system. To best explain what the vault cards are, they're essentially just Borderlands' way of doing a battle pass. You don't have like 0 to 100 levels like most, but you do level up by just playing the game and earning XP. Then you're going to get a chest that you can open it, and then you're going to get some rewards out of it. It can either be iridium, it can be keys to buy stuff in the vault card itself, it can be legendaries, and it can even be things like a diamond key, which is also another thing they added. So you can go down to the bottom of Sanctuary and have this huge loot room, and you can get a bunch of loot. There are rarities to each of these. Obviously, something like the diamond key is going to be much harder to get, but getting keys for the vault card and iridium is going to be really easy. Now, with all these vault cards, they also have their own rewards. You would get 4 legendaries on top of some skins, some echo devices, some emotes, just a bunch of cosmetic stuff like that. The main thing is people want it is the legendaries though. But that is pretty much the explanation of what vault cards are. But now let's actually go and talk about what they did for the game, how people enjoyed them, and things we would like to see with them, and just overall how they ended up being. So starting off, let's talk about the way vault cards are accessed. Obviously, like I was saying, they seem like a battle pass system, so a lot of people actually think that this should be a free to play type thing. It is not exactly like a battle pass, but it is, a level up system where you just get some extra cosmetics and some legendaries, but it is also tied to a paid DLC. I feel like a lot of people had confusion because I got a lot of comments on a bunch of my vault card videos explaining that they don't have access to it, simply because they think that this is a free system and it's not actually locked behind a paywall. But also I have seen people say that they have bought the Director's Cut DLC and they still don't have access, so obviously there's a problem behind that as well. So just overall accessing the vault cards themselves has been a pain for some people. I know a lot of people actually haven't had issues with it, but for some, they have not been able to actually use it since the Director's Cut launch, which is obviously not ideal. But now that the last vault card is out, I really hope that the people that were struggling do understand and have access to it now. But on the topic of paywall, a lot of people were actually upset about this because they added a bunch of legendaries in each vault card that are actually really good, and you simply cannot get them unless you buy the Director's Cut DLC. So starting off, I'm just going to talk about all the legendaries that were available to us in Vault Card 1. We had the Mechanic, the Bird of Prey, the Guardian Angel, and the Super Soldier. Mechanic was basically a rocket launcher that would shoot out like wheels that did more damage to vehicles. Not that good. They threw that in there kind of just as a fun little gimmicky thing. The Bird of Prey was a sniper rifle that would have a 33% chance to shoot like an additional projectile that would come down and basically explode on an enemy. It was okay. I know a lot of people actually really like this thing, and if you could make it work, it was really good, but it definitely wasn't the best sniper in the game. Then we had the Guardian Angel, which is still arguably one of the best guns in the game, but based kind of due to the way the gun works. The gun itself is pretty bad, but if you're holding it, whatever damage you're doing is increased. Actual skill damage, grenade damage. So essentially just holding the shotgun, you're going to be able to just do more damage anywhere else on your character, which is really cool. Then the Super Soldier, which is also a really good shield, and basically lets you get more movement speed and ammo when the shields are full. You could glitch this thing out to where you could just speed around the map really crazy. Really cool, but they did fix that, but still the Super Soldier is really good. So from the first vault card, we have 2 really good items and a pretty good item, but the other one's kind of just whatever. And again, this is locked behind a paywall, nobody can get it. But the real problems didn't come into the paywall thing until vault card 2, and if you know, the Schluter artifact was one of the main things that completely broke the game at launch. But on top of that, we also had the Power Burst Grenade, the Troubleshooter, and the Gold Rush. Now, the Schluter artifact, let's talk about that for a little bit. Basically, when you get a kill, you have a huge increase to get additional legendary drops. It was such an insane amount, they actually had to go out and nerf it. But being that this was available as a paid item and it just actively made you stronger if you had this, it at any point in the game, it was really ridiculous. Like, I'm saying, if you would get a kill and start killing other enemies, you would just have legendaries raining down like it was just any other rarity in the game. It was insanely strong, and legendaries already fall a lot in Borderlands 3, so just imagine that times literally like 100,000. It was insanely good, and they had to literally nerf it. Even after the nerf though, it's still insanely good, and still the argument to be made that you just have better legendary odds than other people that don't buy this DLC. But that is where it kind of gets a little fishy. Now, on top of nerfs, they also did have to nerf the Gold Rush SMG, because that was also insanely good. You could stack up a lot of stacks of the way the gun worked and just get insane damage and fire rate. The other items in this vault cart though, the troubleshooter was a pretty fun SMG. It was pretty good. Basically, the gun would just understand what element you had to shoot on an enemy, and it would shoot that element. And the power burst grenade was an grenade mod. So again, with this artifact, two super broken artifacts at launch. The Sluter artifact is also still really good. Then the power burst troubleshooter, just okay items. So basically, the first one, you had two really good items. The second one, you have two really good items. And then finally, on the last vault card, we have the Mana Well, the Blade Fury, the Sidewinder, and the Creeping Corruption. Following with the trend of two really good and two just okay items, this vault card is also going to be the exact same way, because the Blade Fury is literally one of the best guns in the game. It does splash damage, normal damage, melee damage. It can go through immunity phases. Yes, I did say that correctly. It can go through immunity phases. But you also have things like the Mana Well, which is a really good shield for somebody like Mose. Basically drain your shields constantly, but if you keep them up like she can with her Bloodletter, you get a good damage bonus and some really good damage reduction. The Sidewinder grenades kind of, and the Creeping Corruption is okay. Just the way it works is not that good. So again, two really good items, two okay items. But that is all for the legendaries. On top of that, you also have all the cosmetics that I was talking about that you can earn, but obviously the main thing is people want to go for these legendaries. The Schluter artifact is really the only one that had a lot of controversy behind it, which is very understandable, because the other ones are obviously just guns that can be really good. It is a little interesting that they introduce insanely good items as time progresses, which is obviously a problem of power creep. But there are other guns in the game that are still really good because of buffs that they have given to them over time. Talking about how you actually earn all these legendaries with XP, you have this new XP bar that you just play in the game. Obviously, is going to give you XP and level up. But the problem is that obviously with that, people are just going to do the easiest thing they can do to level up, and that is to go kill the Ruiner over and over again. Not very fun at all, but it is an extremely fast method to get XP. And if you're on console, you might also do something like a Slaughter Shaft due to load times. But I think a problem is with this is because they really could have done something well with this, but instead you're just playing the base game and getting some items just for the base game. Personally, I think that they could have added a new area, even if it's just something like a Slaughter Shaft, would just be really cool just to actually play that and earn these new rewards instead of doing the same thing over and over again, just to keep, you know, literally do this for 3 vault cards in a row. Having a new area, just anything, would be really cool, and just theme it around what the vault card actually is. Obviously with vault card 1 we have Fallen Heroes, vault card 2 we have Welcome to Pandora, and vault card 3 you have Bunker Masters. So they are really thematic. They could have, I feel like, done something strong with this, but we did get what we got, which I think is a huge flaw, honestly, because I would like to see new areas with these vault cards if they are going to be a seasonal battle pass-esque type thing. But obviously that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys would like to see from vault cards and how you think they can improve. But I guess the final thing I would like to talk about is that, would you guys like to see these in Wonderlands? Obviously Wonderlands is coming out in March, and if they actually release these like from the start, I feel like it could be really cool just to earn some extra gear. But obviously I don't want like people earning legendary gear literally at the lowest level in the game. But we don't know how the legendary drop rate and stuff is going to work in Wonderlands yet. It seems very similar to Borderlands 3 from trailers and everything, but it could be completely different. But if this was from the start and they actually added different areas to the game, you know, when these new things drop, or just any sort of new thing, instead of just saying, hey, go farm one thing over and over again to get these 4 new legendary items and some additional cosmetics, I feel like it would actually be really good. I definitely think vault cards were actually pretty unique thing that they tried to do in Borderlands, and I'm glad they tried to do something out the box. I know a lot of people don't really like battle pass systems in any game, but honestly, in reality, at this point in 2021, this is just a thing that happens in every single game now, and Borderlands is obviously going to try to capitalize on it as well, just like every other game developer out there. I will say that they definitely did try to do something a little different, but it is very similar. I honestly think that this could be a really good system if they do implement some changes and make it more appealing for other people. In my opinion, if you're going to try to, you know, do something like a battle pass system, you might as well just go all in on it with the whole seasonal type thing and add new areas, add new things to do, you know, and just keep going with things like that. But overall, I do like the system. I do like a lot of legendaries to add to the game. Obviously, there were some very controversial ones, but that's going to be like that with pretty much any DLC that comes out for Borderlands or even Wonderlands. There's going to be some super broken stuff, but I definitely would like to see more of this just improved on. But let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments below. If you like to see some Wonderlands, what you think overall, you know, and now we've got all 3 of the vault cards. Let me know what you guys think about all of it in the comments below, because I would love to have a discussion down there and get all you guys' opinions. But that is what it all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.